Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. Today I'll talk about 4 U.S. presidents: William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, and Zachary Taylor. William Henry Harrison was the 9th U.S. president. His term was short, starting and tragically ending in 1841. He was born at Berkeley in 1773. He studied classics and history at Hampden-Sydney College, then began the study of medicine in Richmond. In the campaign against the Indians, Harrison served as aide-de-camp to General Mad Anthony Wayne at the Battle of the Fallen Timbers, which opened most of the Ohio area to settlement. The Battle of Tippecanoe, upon which Harrison's fame was to rest, disrupted Tecumseh's Confederacy, but failed to diminish Indian raids. By the spring of 1812, they were again terrorizing the frontier. The Whigs, in need of a national hero, nominated him for president in 1840. He won by a majority of less than 150,000 votes, but swept the Electoral College 234 to 60. But before he had been in office a month, he caught a cold that developed into pneumonia. On April 4, 1841, he died, the first president to die in office, and with him died the Whig program. Anna Tuthill Sims Harrison was his wife. John Tyler was the 10th U.S. president. He served from 1841 to 1845. Born in Virginia in 1790, he was raised believing that the Constitution must be strictly construed. He never wavered from his conviction. He attended the College of William and Mary and studied law. Dubbed His Excellency by the detractors, John Tyler was the first vice president to be elevated to the office of president by the death of his predecessor. Despite their differences, President Tyler and the Whig Congress enacted much positive legislation. The Log Cabin Bill enabled a settler to claim 160 acres of land before it was offered publicly for sale, and later pay $1.25 an acre for it. In 1845, Tyler did sign a tariff bill protecting northern manufacturers. The Webster-Ashburton Treaty ended a Canadian boundaries dispute. In 1845, Texas was annexed. By the end of his term, Tyler had replaced the original Whig cabinet with Southern conservatives. When the first Southern states seceded in 1861, Tyler led a compromise movement. Failing, he worked to create the Southern Confederacy. He died in 1862, a member of the Confederate House of Representatives. He was married twice. His first wife was Letitia Christian Tyler, who died during his term. His second wife was Julia Gardner Tyler. James K. Polk was the 11th U.S. president. He served from 1845 till 1849. He was born in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina in 1795. Studious and industrious, Polk was graduated with honors in 1818 from the University of North Carolina. As a young lawyer, he entered politics, served in the Tennessee legislature, and became a friend of Andrew Jackson. Until circumstances raised Polk's ambitions, he was a leading contender for the Democratic nomination for vice president in 1844. Both Martin Van Buren, who had been expected to win the Democratic nomination for president, and Henry Clay, who was to be the Whig nominee, tried to take the expansionist issue out of the campaign by declaring themselves opposed to the annexation of Texas. Polk, however, publicly asserted that Texas should be re-annexed and all of Oregon reoccupied. President Polk added a vast area to the United States, but its acquisition precipitated a bitter quarrel between the North and the South over expansion of slavery. Polk, leaving office with his health undermined from hard work, died in June 1849. He was married to Sarah Childress Polk. Zachary Taylor was the 12th U.S. president. He served from 1849 to 1850. Born in Virginia in 1784, he was taken as an infant to Kentucky and raised on a plantation. He was a career officer in the Army, but his stock was most often of cotton raising. His home was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he owned a plantation in Mississippi. All rough and readies, as he was called, homespun waifs were political assets. His long military record would appeal to Northerners. His ownership of 100 slaves would lure Southern votes. He had not committed himself on troublesome issues. The Whigs nominated him to run against the Democratic candidate Lewis Cass, who favored letting the residents of territories decide for themselves whether they wanted slavery. After participating in ceremonies at the Washington Monument on a blistering July 4th, Taylor fell ill. Within 5 days he was dead. After his death, the forces of compromise triumphed, but the war Taylor had been willing to face came 11 years later. In it, his only son Richard served as general in the Confederate Army. Margaret McCall Smith Taylor was his wife. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. Prezi signing out. Bye.